How can you bring your fiance to the United States? Hello, my name is Audra Doyle, and I'm the owner and attorney of Doyle Law here in Atlanta, Georgia. And a fiance is permitted to be sponsored by a U.S. citizen. Now, the first consideration is that you cannot be legally married. You can only be engaged to be married. So if you're already legally married, the K-1 fiance visa is not going to work. So starting there, you have to be not married. And this is a three-step process. For step one, the U.S. citizen fiance will sponsor their fiance abroad by filing the I-129F petition. That will take several months or even a year long to be approved by USCIS. For step number two, once the case is approved, it will be transferred over to the U.S. Embassy abroad where the foreign national fiance lives. And at that time, the fiance must get a medical done. They must fill in a DS-160 form for the embassy. They must gather particular documents. And they also must attend an interview for the K-1 visa. And I think that part number two is the toughest of the three steps of this case, because the embassy has a lot of power to say yes or no, and their decision cannot be appealed. So it's very important that you have a strong case and that you can document your relationship clearly with the embassy. Now, once the K-1 visa is approved, you're not done yet. You're moving on to step number three, which is where the foreign national fiance enters the United States in K-1 status. He or she will then get married to the U.S. citizen within 90 days of entry. And then you're not done yet. You've got to file an I-485 adjustment of status application. And that process, the last part, could take another year to be approved. In addition, you may be required to go to an interview at USCIS together. So those are the three basic steps of the fiance petition. And here are some tips that I want to leave you with if you're considering filing this case. The number one tip for you is that you need to meet in person within the past 2 years. There is an exception to that rule, but I find that it is so hard to be approved without having met in the past 2 years. In my office, we do not take those cases because it is so difficult. So I require that my fiancés meet in person in the past 2 years, and we need to have good documentation of an ongoing relationship. The second tip is that I will draft letters of intent to marry for each fiance to sign before we file the I-129F petition. And then the last tip for you is about the medical. When your fiance abroad is getting the medical done, also request an extra copy for his or her records. I like to show that copy to the Immigration Service when I apply for the I-485 adjustment of status. So it's really hard to get this copy after the fact. So when the fiance goes for their medical in their country abroad, at that time, they need to request one copy for the embassy, that goes to the embassy, and the other copy for themselves. The vaccination record alone will be very helpful down the road. So I hope this information has been helpful to all of you. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you're going to get notifications the next time I post a video on YouTube.